Hello everyone, welcome back to Sketches. So today we are solving an interesting and famous puzzle created by Bodo Van Dhen. So let's take a look at this puzzle. Here Black's king is trapped on the h5. He has no moves. So the only move they can play is pawn to d3. So we have to be really precise while making a move to avoid any stalemate. Now let's say if we promote our pawn to a queen. That's a blunder cause after black plays pawn to d3, there are no moves for white which avoid stalemate. Let's say we play queen to g8 and the game ends in a stalemate. So that's not the move. Now we promote to a rook. Same thing happens, they play pawn to d3 and there are no moves for white which avoid stalemate. And now if we promote to a bishop, they play pawn to d3 and still the same thing. The game ends in a stalemate. So the winning move here for white is we under promote to a knight. They are forced to play pawn to d3 and now instead of taking the pawn on c7, we sacrifice our knight by playing knight to b6. They are forced to take our knight and now we play pawn to c7. They are forced to play pawn to b5 and now the same thing happens if we promote to a queen. That's a blunder cause after pawn to b4 there are no moves for white which avoids stalemate. And still the same for rook and the same thing happens with if we promote to bishop. So we have to apply the same idea here. We promote to a knight. Now they are forced to play pawn to b4 and now instead of taking the pawn on e7 we sacrifice our knight again by playing knight to d6. Now they are forced to take our knight, we play pawn to e7, they are forced to play pawn to d5 and again we have to apply the same idea. We under promote to a knight and they are forced to play pawn to d4. And now instead of taking the pawn on the g7 square, we sacrifice our knight again by playing knight to h6. And now they are forced to take our knight and we play pawn to g7. They are forced to play pawn to h6. And now the best move here is we under promote to a knight. And surprisingly, it is a checkmate. Now there is one another move here which leads mate into. Can you find it? Let me know the answer in the